Hi, my name is Rose, and today I'm going to be talking about how to fully embody your true nature of being a creator on this plane of existence in this realm. And it doesn't matter who you are watching this. It doesn't matter if you have any thoughts coming in that think, I'm not a creator, I'm a victim of life. It's okay, because that's something that we're going to find out isn't as rigid as you think it might be. And this is something that we all have within us. It's the makeup of our cells. It's the only reason that we're here. It's anything that you could think, anything that you could put your energy into, anything that's in this form life around you. It only exists since you're able to perceive it, since you're able to give out energy, since you are a creator. And your self-concept creates the lens of which you see life through. You're getting so much information at a moment in time, and you're aware of a very small amount of it. And if you were to stack that up over a longer period of time, you'd realize that the way in which you see the world through creates the world that you experience. And let's just say right now, in my room, I'm getting information of the colour of the walls, of this nice little plant I have, of the incense burning, of the feeling of the carpet on my toes, of maybe noises from people in my house, which you might also be aware of. If that's so, I apologize. And it's just, there's so much going on. There's zero way we'd be able to be consciously aware of all of it at once. And so having a lens, having something that, will pick up on things that are seemingly important, seemingly relative to who we are, is a useful tool. But a lot of us aren't consciously aware that that's going on. And the entire trajectory of our lives is being laid out through a belief system that if we could get rid of, we would. It's not true to who we are. So, in short terms, your self-concept determines your reality. And a lot of the time, it's like, yeah, of course, because self-concept is reality. We can't look outside of it. We can't look outside of this lens because it's the same lens that you've maybe been looking through for 10, 20, 30 years, I don't know. But it is so rigid then that you can't question it. It is your only knowledge of what truth is. To question it is to question life entirely. It's scary. This is why most of us don't do it. But it's very rewarding, and fear is something I'm going to get onto because I don't think we respond to it correctly. I don't want to go with correct because everything is one at the end of the day. We can separate ourselves into these fragments of my true self, the self-concept I have, the ego, the pain body. Really, we are one. The undercurrent under everything is of love and connectedness, for good or bad or whatever we name these things. It's not fragmented. It's very whole. So to have that knowledge prior to doing this work is really helpful because you won't find yourself as lost. I mean, it's okay to get lost. But yeah, what I really want to talk about is this self-concept that you have, is this ego, how it's created, how it has such an impact in just profound ways that I don't think I could ever express it, but I'm going to try. It's built upon past experiences, things that you've experienced throughout your life. But, you know, two people could experience the same horrific event and have very different takeaways. So your uniqueness is within everything, even though past experiences now tormenting you today is something that we should let go of. We shouldn't hold on to that as a part of ourselves, because you'll repeat it every day. Let's say someone who has a really negative opinion of themselves goes to the shop, goes shopping, they buy a carton of milk. They're leaving out of the shop, they drop the milk. Oh no. Why does everything happen to me? Day fucking ruined. Gotta clean up some milk. Gotta feel awful about myself. This is awful. Someone who's okay with themselves might have a little chuckle and go on with their way. You know, because it's the way that we perceive. And this is so profound. I don't know if this is really getting across how profound it is, but it changes everything, the things that you think you're able to achieve. If you don't think you're able to achieve something, why would you ever go for it? But really, you're listening to this build-up of past experience, past pain that's living on through you that isn't even actually you. It really feels like it's you. It really does. There's a heaviness to it. But the real you, there is no heaviness. It's very light, it's very free. There's opportunity, there's choice, there's complete freedom, like complete freedom. And we are being caged within these systems of negative self-concept. And something that renews this on the daily is our thought patterns. I would really recommend sitting down and maybe for 2 minutes writing down every thought that comes in your mind and looking at them. Because something you'll learn is they are bullshit. Our thoughts are just regurgitating things from maybe belief systems that you made when you were 7, when, you know, someone was mean to you and it really felt like you were being completely victimized and you were a victim. But in reality, you're not. We go through hardships to build us up. We don't learn in joy. We don't, well, maybe we do, but we definitely don't to the extent that we learn in the dark nights of the soul. When things are really awful, we learn such potent things that are there to help us grow, not to shun us down. But because we're not taught these things. It's not a surprise that we don't know these things because we're not taught them. And so these belief systems are renewed by thinking, because our brain is a machine. It operates like a computer. It likes repetition. If something has been repeated to you, you're going to believe it. It's comfortable. It feels true. A lot of people are going around believing things that they don't even really know why. It's just because it's been repeated to them many, many times. And so you can start repeating something new. You can start telling yourself things that maybe you feel like you don't believe because you have this rigid belief system of who you think that you are. And the thing is, I can tell you who you're not. You are not your thoughts. You are not whatever you think you are not. Even if you think great things about yourself, you're not those things either. You are the essence of life. Like, I don't want to sound like... Sometimes I feel as though this analogy can be a little soulless, but it's really a game. We are playing these roles. Like children, what do they always do? They play pretend. It's our nature. It's kind of who we are. We have this energy. We are these intelligent life forms, and we play with the boundaries, and it's fun, but we've forgotten that we're playing. And it's easy to say this when I know there is a lot of horrible things on our planet, a lot of unconsciousness, but you have to live based upon what you want to see the world be. I like to live based upon what I believe we can live by. And really, when I'm in the depths of my soul, when I feel the closest to myself, it's so unserious, all of this. And we have these belief systems that feel so serious. They keep us trapped. Like, if I believe a certain thing about myself, that's it. That's who I am. That's the life I'm going to lead. If I believe that, oh, you know, I could never start exercising because it's awful and I hate it and it's painful. Yes, those things are true, but I could. We need to learn to be comfortable with discomfort, because that's why we stay believing these things. A lot of us feel as though sorrow, pain, just existential dread, just all of the things that are the worst experiences, that those are the ones that are most threatening. But it's not true, because there is a deeper level underneath this, because your ego, who you believe you are, can be very comfortable in pain, especially if you think that you're a victim. Like, if that's your role, that's how you relate to people around you, circumstances, you're the victim. To feel pain makes sense. I can stay in it. The thing that is the most threatening is uncertainty. It's so uncomfortable to go head first into something uncertain, something that, let's say, it doesn't match up with what you've been believing about yourself. It feels scary because you have no fucking clue what's on the other end of it. You know what's on the other end of limiting yourself. You know the feeling. It's okay, you can do it. But going into something where you don't know, that threatens this rigid belief system you have about yourself, feels like a death. Because it is, in a way. It's a mini death of who you think that you were. And we're all going to die one day. Why not? Let's just die a little earlier and be something new. If you're sick to death, if you are bored to death of the life that you're living, let it die. Just release your grasp slightly on how much you're holding it, for the way that you can understand why you're here, the way that you can understand how to move through this vast, confusing cosmos. You don't need it. You really don't need it. Actually, if you let go, you'd float a lot easier through it, and you'd find who you really are, because you're not who you think that you are. And I know that, because we cannot think up who we are. It's on another realm of existence. Like, the thinker is here. It's a realm of intelligence it works on form and separation. It labels things. This is that and this is that. It fragments the wholeness that who we truly are lives on that plane of wholeness. There is no separation. We're all a part of this whole. And when things are whole, there is no judgment of one thing or another, because you need two for that. If there's only one, what, we're going to judge ourselves? I guess we do that a lot. But really, we only judge ourselves in comparison to what we believe an other should be. We take away the other, there isn't that judgment there anymore. And so if you can take a look at your belief system, is it based upon love and wholeness and belief? Or is it based upon limitation and dread and fear? Because these feelings are so heavy. They feel like so much. They feel like, if I stop feeling this, I don't know what could happen. It's like I have to hold it. Otherwise, I'm going to set it free and it's going to like all come flying back in my fucking face. But it won't. Because you're creating it. You're creating it every day. You are the creator. And that might be scary because it's like, you're responsible now. You're wholly responsible for your life. That's a lot. But really, it's a lot easier than that. it's a lot easier than staying where you are, because each day that you chip away at this veil that you have that is you, who you think you are, when really it's an amalgamation of energies that you've not processed, of thought patterns that you've been building through what you've seen in a very unconscious world. We've learnt a lot from a very unconscious, ego-led world. So I'll just tell you something. A lot of your learning, your truest, most deepest learning and wisdom is going to come from inside of you. It's not going to come from what you find around you. Of course, you're going to find some places that will help you. And I'd say more and more people are waking up nowadays, and there's so many books, there's so many great books and belief systems, and there's a lot of love. There is a lot of love. It's not all bleakness, even though it can feel like it. But yeah, basically your rigid belief system that you think is you, if it doesn't feel good, if it doesn't feel true, then it isn't you. I already know it's not you. I'm just trying to help you see that it's really not. This is a play. This is a game. So if you don't like the one you're playing, play a new one. And it's a lot easier said than done, but I've done it. I'm a vastly different person to who I was 4 years ago. And it is hard. There is a lot that comes with it. Because if you're going to embrace yourself, you have to embrace all of yourself. I think the piece of information that I'm trying to give is that you are not your thoughts, you are not your repressed emotions. They are things in your energy field. They're not you. And you have the power to bring in awareness and consciousness. I know it because it's what you're made of. You can. And so there's a few steps that you can take. First of all, I'd say the first thing that I did is your thinking. It's kind of level 1. Your belief systems are what creates your thinking. However, your thinking is a pattern that repeats a lot. So to try and just wiggle in some little thoughts that go against the grain of what you have been thinking for however long, you're going to start to weaken it. It's not going to have this much of a hold on you forever. It can't. It just can't. When you bring in that conscious awareness, love, it can't survive. It really can't. And I'll just say, don't struggle with yourself. That's something that I wish I could spare you from, because I've done it. If you don't judge those parts of yourself, even if you have some really unsettling, intrusive thoughts that you really wish you didn't have, or even if the things that you believe about yourself you project onto others and you really judge others and you notice yourself doing it and it's like, I do not like myself at all. Stop right there. It's okay. We all do it. And you're part of a whole. You're not a separate fragment. You are one with everything around you, and you can let things go. They don't need to stay. Your belief systems have been created through this holding. When you have a thought that you don't like, deep breath, bring in awareness, witness it. See what emotions come up. Be curious. And even when you do judge it, because I'm sure that you will, especially if we've been operating off of judgment for a very long time, you're not saying goodbye to judgment just yet. You probably never will. It's about allowing and not holding and processing. When we don't process, when we see things as this rigid truth, like the thoughts that I have are so telling of who I am, they'll add to my self-concept. No. They're like clouds in the sky. Allow them to pass. Understand them. Give them love. There's so many things you can do. Meditation, connecting to your body and your heart are two massive things, because we have some ancient wisdom in here we give our brains too much credit, I think, for the part that they play. I mean, they're great. We have some great brains, but they're also massive hindrances. But just be the witness. Instead of identifying with this concept you have of who you are, that changes what you're able to see, changes what you believe you can do, makes you swallow up your dreams, shut your mouth when really you want to speak. Just witness. And even though it might feel like the most uncomfortable thing in the world, just surprise this concept that you have. Do something that doesn't really fit in with what it's telling you. Feel the fear, feel the, okay, this is new, this is different, I don't know what the hell is going to come out of this. Feel it and just do it. Follow that flow within you that knows who you are and what you're capable of. And you're going to feel so empowered. And your whole life's going to change. I can't tell you what it's going to feel like, because there isn't words for it. But even right now, if there's thoughts in your mind that do not believe, witness them, feel them, and allow them to be there. Don't let them dictate you. And just as much as you can do this, and you will weaken the beliefs that you have about yourself. Some people don't really want to. It's like, this is your basis for understanding who you think that you are, how you relate to those that you talk to, where you go, what you do, what you wear, how you speak, everything. But really, is it creating a life that's that much fun for you? Does it feel really good? If it doesn't, just have a look inside of yourself. Even if it does, I'd say have a look inside of yourself, because I'll bet you can go deeper. Just try and bring in some conscious awareness to what is it that is controlling the trajectory of my life? Instead of just going with it, if it's not feeling good, let me stop and let me look at what it is that is influencing me. And do I really want to keep listening to that for the rest of my life? And it's going to be really hard to deconstruct it, but there is no other time than right now. It's the only time that you have. So you might as well try. And it's very rewarding. And it's going to be hard, but it's going to be good. It's going to be very good. It feels good, I'll tell you, to let go of things you didn't even think were capable to let go of. Things that you thought were woven into the truth of what your life is, what others' lives are, when really it's just an immense amount of unprocessed pain that's turned into belief, that's turned into thought, that's turned into perception, that's turned into your life, what comes to you. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say today, but I send you so much love. Mwah. I hope that what I said made sense. I'm sure it did. I tend to doubt myself, but I'll witness it and I'll let it go. Okay, yeah, I'm Rose, and thank you so much for watching. And remember, you don't need to judge yourself. We're all going through this together. So as much as you can bring in love, please do so. Goodbye.